Hey everyone, just giving you a quick glimpse of my cold gun prop that I made. This is for a client. It runs off of a 9-volt battery. This is pretty much a repurposed Nerf water gun. Don't mind that, that's just my computer. Pretty much what I did with this was opened it up. Since it's pretty much hollow on the inside, it gave me a lot of room to work with. The grip is pretty much glued down on the inside, so I'm using this one hand, so it doesn't move at all. So the grip is stationary. This little circuit board right here is a soundboard, which I used. It's pretty much used in greeting cards. So it has 3 little coin batteries that can be replaced. I rewired it to the point where it has 2 action buttons. The one right here will play the sound. If you hook it up, if you hook up the cord to your phone, you would press this button, which would begin recording. You would hear a beep, and then it would record for 120 seconds or until you pressed it again. And then whatever sound is on the chip will play when you press this button here. That's pretty much the Mr. Freeze button. I put the speaker at the top since I couldn't find anywhere else to put it. This button here switches the LEDs in the front. Now, the 9-volt battery is what powers the LEDs on this gun, since I couldn't find a way to wire both this chip and the interior lights. It's also connected by, they're all wired inside, and this switch was made when I had the 2 halves separated. As you can see here, these are 4 RC lights, 2 white, 2 blue, and 2 LED strips. All of these are wired together through the switch and from the switch to the battery. So the only thing that's affected by this on-off switch is the LEDs. So, and then when I put another switch here, this will also make the sound. Since this trigger is stationary, it won't pull, so that became a pain in the ass. So I put a push button momentary, so when you're pulling the trigger action, you're secretly pushing this. It was hard to find a cold gun noise for this gun, since the Flash series kind of has people talking over it or music playing. So I used the freeze sound from Mr. Freeze from Batman the Animated Series. Now, as for this button here that switches up the LEDs, it switches up the LEDs in the front. There's about 8 different sequences that you can go through depending on what your mood is, what you plan on doing. And they're pretty much up, down is 1 and 2, and from left to right, the way you're looking at it now from left to right, is 3 and 4. And that's how I positioned them inside the blaster. So it gives you an array of different effects. Once you get to like, I'm trying to get to the one where it's just like all of them are lit together. There they are. Once you get to here, you're pretty much at the beginning, and I think it's about like 8 or 16 of them. And then I just leave it on that. It does a great effect. I'm going to turn off the light for just a brief moment. So pretty much, whichever way you want to go with it, it's a pretty good gun. These LEDs, they show in like dots right now because I couldn't find anything to really diffuse them without cutting into it a little bit more. But pretty much all of the wiring is concealed inside here, so I put this here. It's a piece of foam that I coated. The entire gun was painted with a mix of Plasti Dip, but it didn't really stick to the plastic as well, so some of the parts were there, so we coated it with black latex paint and dry brushed and some regular painting of metallic silver. Actually, you can get this at Walmart. Right here, Folk Art. This one is, and if you can't read it, I'll tell you, it is metallic sterling silver. This was about maybe $1 or so. The metallic ones cost $1, and the regular colors are like 98 cents. So if you happen to get it, that works. And I pretty much dry brushed all of that onto this gun here and focused some more on the barrel as well. And then I coated the entirety of it with Mod Podge, the matte finish, which protects the paint, and it doesn't give it like too much of a shine since you want it to be gritty. Well, I wanted this to be gritty. And also, since the new owner will be looking at this, this is pretty much how you operate the gun. The 9-volt battery is here. I'm going to be taking that out when I send it to you. But that's where you put it, so you screw it back in and whatnot. Right here, my apologies, is the on-off switch. This only works for the LEDs. The 9-volt battery is where this on-off switch is. So even when this is off, you can still press the sound circuit board, since those are these batteries here. So I'm thinking this is the main battery and these two are the reserves to save the info on here. I'm going to include the cord, which is this here, where you can hook one end here. Yeah, it plugs in. I just wanted to. There we go. I had to do it one hand. And the other end would be plugged to your phone. Make sure the volume is turned all the way up on your music player. If you want to change the file, make sure everything's hooked up. If you want to start playing the song a little bit ahead of time, you can, and then press this. You'll hear a beep, and that means it's recording. You can keep it going for 120 seconds or stop it when you want to, and then press this again, and it'll beep again, and it'll let you know it's recorded. And then whatever sound you have on there will play here. This is your test button. And depending on how you have the recording going, mine has a little bit of it stays a little longer after like a second or two after it's finished playing, so I can't like rapidly press this button and it'll play. It'll press it, and then it'll go through the sequence, so it's not going to interrupt or anything. So if I do like this, it'll just stop it. And then if I press it again, it'll play. So one more time with the LEDs on. This is your current sound button. This is your switch front LED button. This is your record new sound, which only works when you have this cord connected here and to your music player. Once that's ready, you press this. Once you hear the beep, it's recording. Press it again to stop. Your trigger hides the real momentary push button that you will push to make the sound. This right here cycles through your LEDs. LED strip 1, LED strip 2 are stationary. They do not switch cycles. They just stay the way they are. This is your on-off switch. Push it forward to turn them on. Pull it back to stop. Sound works even if the lights don't. I didn't even press it. And there you have it. I'll probably screw this in and put this away later. This part is just wrapped electrical tape that I also kind of dry brushed as well. This tucks under it, just to get it there, but you can cut a little bit of electrical tape if you need to, just to put this here. But this screws into here, and it's all one piece. If you want to check out some of my work photos and all the steps that I took and some of the parts that I bought, check out Avarice Cosplay on Facebook. I'll have a link in the description below. And this is my version of the cold gun. Nerf or nothing for the housing. LEDs inside that were glued into the barrel, and music on the outside. And hopefully you get to see more of my work here on Mr. XNC. Voice acting, cosplay, etc.